Good evening. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, good evening. Welcome to Good evening, good evening. Good evening. Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hey, Joe. Hey, Treasure. Hey, ladies. How are you this wonderful evening? Hey, Lorante. How are you? Good evening, good evening. Hello, hello. Thank you so much. Hey, Isha girl. Thank you so much for joining me for on this evening. We are going to dive in this evening. This is a continuation from Monday, from Maximize Your Monday. So if you guys joined me on Monday, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you read the topic. Have you considered your side effects? I am wonderful, Lorante. Thank you for asking. Hey, hey, hey. So, again, this is a continuation to Monday's Maximize Your Monday side effects. Um, we're going to talk about have you considered your side effects? Have you considered the side effects of your actions? Have you considered the side effects of your decision making? So listen, this is for our leaders. So I need you to go ahead and share this video. We are going to talk tonight. I want you guys to ask me some questions. I want you to show me some love because y'all know, no. I love the heart. So I need you to show me some love and I need you to share this broadcast. Hi, Ariana. Thank you so much for joining us on tonight. We are going to talk about have you considered the side effects. Thank you for joining me on tonight. My name is Latoya Early. I am vision coach and empowerment speaker and founder and CEO of Chase Great Enterprises, where we are constantly changing the momentum of your pursuit to happiness, your pursuit to success, and most of all, thank you, Andrew. And most of all, your pursuit to purpose. We are a purpose discovery leadership development resource for innovators who are looking to create a platform and discovering their purpose and helping others discover their purpose. We have just recently launched our coaching community where we help innovators come on aboard our team, and then you go through a training and you're now able to go out and help others discover their life's purpose. And we are constantly adding to our team. Our next training is actually in February. So if you're looking to start developing your coaching platform, or if you're looking to enhance your coaching platform, I encourage you to visit us at www.chasegreatenterprises.com. Okay, so enough of that. I am ready to talk about side effects. Just to kind of give you an update, if you didn't join us on this past Monday, we go live every Monday for Maximize Your Monday. And so what we talked about this past Monday, we talked about side effects. And I gave the example of I gave the example of really go Rockets, showing my age. Thank you, Princess. We talked about the side effects on Monday, and I gave you an example of my childbirth and how when I was going through labor and delivery, how I was so excited to see my baby, but yet the pain was nearly unbearable. While my labor was only a couple hours long, I probably could have held through it, but I decided to go ahead and take that medicine, that great medication they call it epidural, so that it can subside my pain, not realizing that I was putting myself in more danger than what I would have experienced if I had have just allowed the pain to pass through like it's designed to do. But what I did was I took an unnatural solution, applied it to my natural circumstance, but I put myself in risk of a life field of changes, of hurt, of pain. I could have been paralyzed. I could have had anything could have gone wrong and could have completely shifted my experience. So I wanted to talk to you today about your side effects, about things that you've done, decisions that you've made, medications that you've signed up for to try to cover temporary pain. we do it all the time. We're always looking to apply some type of unnatural solution to our natural circumstance. A side effect is the result of applying an unnatural solution to a natural circumstance. So I know you're wondering, what is it that I could possibly be talking about? What do you mean? If the epidural was designed so that you wouldn't have to go through the pain. You're right, it was. But you know that our bodies as women were naturally designed to endure the pain. God had already created us strong enough, durable enough to endure the pain. The problem is that we become so mixed up in our emotions and so mixed up. Hey, Erica, we become so consumed with our emotions that we're so quick to find a temporary fix. How many times have you made a decision based off of a temporary feeling, a temporary situation that has caused you to pay for it long term? How many times have you said, you know what, let me hurry up and drive a little faster so that I can get to my destination, and then you got pulled over and got a ticket? And now you have points on your license, and now your insurance has went up, and now your license are suspended. Now you have to pay for reinstatement. Now listen, we try to apply unnatural solutions to natural circumstances, and we're not realizing that by doing that, all you're doing is making the situation worse. So Monday, we talked about side effects. One of the questions I asked, and please excuse me as I look down to look at my notes, but one of the questions we asked were, you had some homework, right? Y'all remember that? Y'all remember the homework, the questions? Emotions lead decisions don't usually turn out well. Oh, emotionally led decisions. Right. I'm sorry. Emotionally led decisions don't usually turn out well. You are absolutely right. Hey, Rochelle, you are absolutely right. Emotional led decisions they really never turn out right. So again, Monday I gave you guys some homework. If you guys remember, one of the questions was, are you making long-term decisions for temporary pain? So let's say your bank account is dry, you don't have any money, and you go out and you get a payday advance loan. So now you stuck with these people, because when you get paid again, you're going to have to pay them back, right? And then when you pay them back, you're back in the same situation that you were in before, instead of just holding tight until you're able to get yourself out the hole. Are you making long-term decisions for temporary pain? My second question was, are you researching the side effects before deciding? Sometimes you make a decision without thinking it through. You're quick to make a decision on a whim. You're quick to hurry up and move forward and make a decision without sitting down and evaluating and examining the side effects. Are you doing your research before you make these decisions? Yes, suicide is the perfect example of a long-term decision for a temporary pain. I couldn't have said it any better. You are absolutely right, La Erica. Don't get me wrong, life can be absolutely turned upside down. I get it. But imagine how many people will lose because you've decided to give up your life from a temporary situation. I've used other men to fill voids of love and fatherhood, temporary fixes for issues they couldn't possibly heal. That's good, especially as a woman. Let me for all my fathers. Can y'all give me some hearts? If you're a father of a child, if you're a father of a daughter specifically, I need you to give me some hearts. Can y'all give me some hearts? Any fathers of daughters. I've seen a couple of you chime in. I need y'all to give me some hearts. Where my fathers to my daughters at? Okay, y'all want to act like that? Cool. So this is to my fathers who have daughters. Let me tell you how important, how your side effects can affect. Thank you. Let me tell you how your side effects, and this leads me to point 3. Do your side effects only affect you? This is to my dads. Let me tell you how your temporary decisions, how your decisions for temporary pain causes long-term suffering. When you're a father to a daughter specifically, now men to fathers to sons, I'm not a boy, so I can't really talk from the point of from the perspective of a boy, but I can talk from the perspective of a daughter. And I'm going to tell you that your position in your daughter's life is so valuable. It means more to her than you'll ever imagine. I understand that circumstances happen and maybe the relationships between you and the mother may not be at its best. I understand that we have some women that cannot really understand how to handle co-parenting very well, but let me encourage you to put those type of situations to the side. I even understand that you being young and you may not know how to be a father. I even understand how you may not have the finances that you think you need to take care of her. I get that. How about this? I even get it if your parents or your father wasn't even in your life. But let me tell you how the position of a father plays a dramatic role in the life of a young girl. The first leader that a woman recognizes or know is her father. That's for number one. So now from the point of ages 2 all the way through adulthood, every man that she dates, she's either going to compare or contrast with her father. So I want you to know, I think that what Treasure has just said about using other men to fill a void, that's such a huge side effect that not only that we as women have to experience, but it's a side effect of the father. Because you decided to use an unnatural solution by separating yourself from the situation to a natural circumstance, which is having the child, now you've created long-term side effects. And what makes this even worse is that this is a common side effect. So what happens when there's a common side effect? Everyone tends to flock to that common side effect. So it makes you feel better. If you have a group of male friends that aren't doing well in their children's life and they don't care about their children or their baby mothers, then you are best friends with these type of people because common side effects are familiar to one another. It's time to start thinking deeper. It's time to start thinking greater than the exterior. It's time to really start digging deep and identifying who you are. Listen, a father, let me tell you something about a dad. And I can only speak from a daughter perspective. Remember, knowing a father who knows their purpose in their daughter's life changes the dynamics of that daughter. It changes her life. If you don't want your daughter out, on the pole or doing things that she shouldn't be doing or being disrespected or being disrespectful, it doesn't even start with the mother. It starts with the father. So I want to encourage my dads on tonight. Listen, do not allow unnatural solutions, meaning separation from your child's life, to cause a long-term side effect for natural circumstance. You made this child be the parent that child needs and be everything that they need. Because by you escaping, you're causing more harm than what you think. Because you're being selfish, you're causing more harm in that child's life than you can ever imagine. We covered 3 questions on Monday. Again, this is a continued segment from our Maximize Your Monday. So for those who are joining me, thank you so much, Uncle Dean, for joining me. Hey, LaDonna Speaks Life Only. I cannot say your name without saying like the entire thing. But thank you so much for joining me. Lorante, I love the father I am to my daughter because I didn't have my dad growing up. I knew the void and how I felt, and I didn't want to give that. Thank you. See, it's so funny how sometimes children repeat history. So if your father is absent in your life, 9 times out of 10, you may be absent in your child's life. But there's something that you can do that can break that generational curse. You can stand up and take responsibility. So I thank you for that because, again, we're talking about side effects on tonight. So this is why this conversation is so relevant. We're talking about side effects. And the definition of side effects is the result of taking an unnatural solution and applying it to a natural circumstance. So an unnatural solution. I wanted to talk about that on tonight. It just keeps coming up. Last week or last Monday, we talked about the 3 questions. Absolutely, Roshon, you're an amazing dad. So I definitely give you kudos on that. I wanted last Monday we talked about 3 questions. Are you making long-term decisions for temporary pain? Are you researching the side effects before deciding? And do your side effects affect other people? These are some things that you need to think about. Now, I've had a few questions and a few people asked me about unnatural solutions. What is an unnatural solution, Latoya? What are you talking about? Okay, so let's talk about fear. Fear is a natural circumstance, right? Everyone experiences fear in all different capacities, whether or not it's from a job, whether or not it's afraid of spiders, whether or not it's afraid of success, whatever it is, people have a natural reaction when they're afraid of something, right? Well, what is an unnatural solution to that natural circumstance? Thank you for asking. Avoidance. Avoidance. So when I was sitting and I was note taking and I was thinking about what we're going to talk about tonight, avoidance was one of the first things that came to mind as we talked about unnatural solutions. How is avoidance an unnatural solution? By not standing up to something doesn't make it right. If you're afraid of something, if there's a situation that you need to handle, avoiding it is not going to make it better. I know, I'm sorry, Erica. It was just close to my heart. Avoiding the situation is not going to make it better. You know those people who say, I don't need a big house. I'm fine with the house that I'm in now. Knowing on the inside part, they really want a deep house, but they try to avoid it so that they don't have to face what they may have to do in order to get that bigger house. Like maybe go back to school or push harder in their job or go get a better job. So they try to avoid it. Avoidance is an unnatural solution to a natural circumstance. Stop avoiding your fears. Start standing up to them. The only way that you're going to defeat the fear is if you stand up to it face to face. Fears come to kill, steal, and destroy. And the reason why you've been losing against them is because you've been trying to avoid them instead of stand up to them. There's nothing a fear can do to you. Actually, the worst thing about fear is that if you sit in it too long, it'll cause you to completely miss out on the happiness and the fulfillment that you desire. There's no reason to be afraid of anything. Because fear can't do anything to you but cause you to fail. Some of you are even afraid of failure. But have you ever noticed or have you ever recognized that success is actually embedded in failure? That the only way that you'll know if you're great at something is if you try. And if you fail at it and you get back up and you try it again, that's a form of success. Let me tell you the difference between failing and being a failure. Failing is falling and getting back up and trying it again. Being a failure is falling and staying down. So yes, you should be afraid of failure. Because you should be afraid that if you fall and if you don't get back up, what'll happen? The second one is stop shifting the blame. People are listen. I can shift blame on why I had my oldest son. I had him outside of my marriage. Oh, I can blame the world. Oh, I haven't gotten as far as I wanted to be in my business. Oh, I can shift blame. Stop shifting blame and start accepting the responsibility. If you're not where you desire to be in life, it's nobody's fault but yours. Nobody's. It's not not your mother's fault. It's not your father's fault. It's not your supervisor's fault because he keep hating on you. It's not your brother's fault because he keep taking the car. It's not your granddaddy fault because he won't give you the hookup at his job. It's nobody's fault that you're not in the successful place that you desire but yours. You have complete and total control over your happiness and over your fulfillment. The reason why you haven't reached that place just yet is because you haven't decided to go. It's time to start researching the side effects of your decisions. Because while you thought you were escaping your early 20s, it really set you up for the failure in your early 30s. Stop shifting the blame and accept your responsibilities. Take ownerships in your mistakes. It's nobody, listen, I know that we live in a jacked up society. I do. I really do. I know that it's really hard to get people to, I know it's really hard to find authentic people. I do. I know that it's hard to get people to really believe in your dreams and believe in your visions and believe that. I know, listen, I'm in that boat. But I can't blame the next person for not believing in my vision when I haven't even done what I need to do to invest in myself to make me even believe in my vision. Stop shifting blame. Stop blaming other people for you having to work 2 and 3 jobs. Stop shifting blame on other people because you have all of these children. Stand up to your responsibilities. I have 3 wonderful, amazing boys, right? But baby, getting a babysitter for these jokers is like pulling teeth. And I used to get mad, like nobody want to help us, nobody. And then I said, you can't blame somebody else for your decisions. You decided to have those kids, not them. Really, DeAndre? Somebody made me mad. I'm just saying, I'm really tired of people not recognizing the side effects of their decision making. I need you to start thinking about the decision that you make and not just how it's going to impact instantly, but how is it going to impact long term and who is it all going to impact? Because your life is not for you. It's for the people around you that you are supposed to help. So if you spend your days being selfish, you can't be mad when you get nowhere. I'm just saying. My third and final unnatural solution is competition. Yeah, so it really burns my bridges. That sounds so old. When people compare or compete with other people. Here's what I've learned. There are hundreds of other entrepreneurs who have created a business model to help other entrepreneurs, right? We know that there are many people who can help other people grow their business. And while in the beginning you learn to research your competitors and you learn to look at other people, I could never gravitate to that. While I will look at other people for inspiration, but I could never look at other people and try to compete with my competition. Because something that I have learned while walking in purpose, living in purpose, and being who I was called to be is that there is no such thing as competition in purpose. The only person that I can compete with is me. The battling of the doubt, the battling of the fear, but I cannot compete with someone else's skill or their gift, because guess what? It wasn't given to me the way that it was given to them. Competition is an unnatural solution to a natural circumstance. You trying to compete and compare with somebody else's gift. How about you chisel down and get your own gift and pull it out and manifest it? I'm confused. You mad because someone else is using their gift at their greatest potential, but you won't wake up and do the same for yourself? Amen. God didn't give us an overflow for us to keep for ourselves for later. It's to give to the people. Absolutely. Yes, you can't compete in purpose. No, you can't. You cannot compete in purpose, and you cannot get mad at the next person who's trying to take their gifts and take it to the next level. You can't get mad at the person who got the supervisor position over you. You can't get mad at the person who got the promotion over you because you didn't do something as great as they did. It's not for you. Compete with who you were yesterday. Best way to improve where you are today. Absolutely. If you want to be in a competition, try to be greater than you were yesterday and be better on today. Give yourself a head start and start planning for the success that you desire. Stop jumping into stuff just because. Stop making irrational decisions. Stop moving off of emotions and start researching your side effects before making the decisions. So, just to recap really quickly, our unnatural solutions, remember we were talking about side effects. Please, 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 I'm trying to catch the comments as they come in. Well, I did get mad when that happened, but I digress. You got mad? You shouldn't have. Because what you should have done is figured out why that person got that position before you did. And now you have something that you can go back and critique within you. And then next time you go for it, you'll get it. Guaranteed. But I'll leave you alone. So, as I was saying, we talked about side effects. You know, have you considered your side effects? Have you considered the long-term decisions or the long-term results to your temporary decisions? Have you considered that the result of a side effect is applying an unnatural solution to a natural circumstance? Listen, things are going to happen because it's a part of nature. It's a part of our way of living. It's a part of life. But you have to start making better decisions when it comes to the things that how you are solving the problems of life. Because your solutions are not just affecting you, it's affecting the people around you. And your solutions are not temporary, they're long term. I need you to start thinking things through. And I need you to start developing you on the inside. Chase Great Enterprises, we work with entrepreneurs. We work with entrepreneurs, but we don't focus on the external development. And what I mean about that, we did work on the external. We did make sure that all of the paperwork and the services and the finances were all in place. However, God has shifted the vision of the business because I've learned that the entrepreneur may not struggle in the skill of being successful. They may struggle in the mindset of being successful. So how can you get to the success that you desire if you don't know how to think like a successful person? How can you get to the level of wealth that you desire if you don't know how to think wealthy? How can you get to the place that you desire in success if you don't know what your definition of enough is? It's so funny how people are struggling or striving to be enough, to be good enough. But who measures the distance of enough? So, thank you so much for joining me this wonderful Wednesday. I am getting ready to head out of here and get home to my family. I thank you for joining me. Please, please, please share this video. We talked about side effects. On Monday, we had 3 questions that I still want you to think about. Are you making long-term decisions to temporary pain? Are you researching the side effects before deciding? And are your side effects only affecting you? Now we wanted to think about some unnatural solutions. What are some unnatural solutions that you are applying to your natural circumstances? How about avoidance? Are you avoiding your fears? Are you avoiding a problem? Are you avoiding a person? What about shifting blame? Are you not taking responsibility for who you are? Are you not taking responsibility for the decisions that you've made? It's nobody's fault that you're in the situation that you're in but yours. And lastly, competition. Listen, there's no such thing as competition in purpose. God made you unique and wonderful and fearfully made in his image. So you need to embrace who you are. It's time for you to dig deeper into who you are and discover why God made you. Your mom and your daddy, yeah, we know why they did it. But let me tell you, 9 times out of 10, you may not even been a part of their plan. But I can tell you whose plan you were a part of. And it's time for you to know who you are. You were not placed here to live paycheck to paycheck. You were not placed here to be unhappy and unfulfilled. That's his son so that you may live and live life more abundantly. So now you need to figure out, how can you do that? And the first step is discovering your purpose. The first step is unlocking your why. The first step is recognizing your value. So again, thank you so much for joining me on tonight. I appreciate you. I thank you. If you have any concerns, please inbox me or visit us at www.chasegreatenterprises.com. It is our job, our assignment to help you chase the greater in you. So be blessed and have a wonderful remaining of the week.